Gurren Lagann is an amazing anime. It's a show about giant mechs and funny characters doing crazy things, but at the same time, it's not afraid to tackle serious issues or topics such as individuality or death. It's a show that really blurs the line between dumb actions and illogical solutions, and soul-crushing moments and realities. With that being said, this video isn't a deep dive into the world of Gurren Lagann, or even its characters. I feel like there are so many amazing videos and creators that have already done that, such as Professor Viral, JRAP, and Scamboli, just to name a few. I highly recommend you go out and check out this stuff, they're all amazing videos. Instead, this video is going to be about how it's impacted me, a random ass guy on the internet, as my own small way of saying thank you to everyone who worked on this show, and for making me who I am today. When I was in school, I was surrounded by a group of friends. However, there was one friend in particular that everybody would constantly try and impress or suck up to. And it eventually turned into a situation where, unless you did everything to please this person, you were left out from meetups, game sessions, or even just lunch times at school. Now, none of this was the intention of the person. I want to make that very clear. He just happened to have a lot of people that really liked him. However, this made me very quickly lose my sense of self and who I really am, because eventually I too felt like I had to suck up to him. Whatever he liked, I liked. Whatever he disliked, I disliked. This affected my love for anime as well, since he hated it, I said I hated it, and for a period, I stopped watching anime altogether. One of the many reasons why Gurren Lagann has stuck with me for so long is its idealistic approach to change. And I feel like I can't properly explain this without comparing it to Evangelion. I know, I'm sorry, it's never been done before, I truly am an innovator, first to do it. Evangelion has a very different theme from Gurren, with it mostly focusing on the suffering of its main cast, and likewise focusing on the suffering of Shinji. Throughout the show, it constantly shows Shinji being timid and afraid, but then gaining confidence and progressing as his character. However, this is almost always quickly followed by some kind of event that makes Shinji revert back to his old ways. This is a very familiar theme for a lot of people in their lives. Have you ever tried to learn something new only to give up halfway, or made a promise only to forget about it weeks later? There's a reason why so many people end up abandoning their New Year's resolutions. It's because humans are just resistant to change. This is a theme that Eva shows us time and time again through Shinji's growth, that humans just tend to slip up and struggle to change, and it shows us that even when attempting to change, the likelihood is it can take weeks, months, and sometimes years before you do. This was especially true for me, as even when I'm trying to pull away from my friend group at the time, I ended up hanging out with them right up until the last year of high school, and only really stopped when I started hanging around another friend during lunch. But even though I knew the group was bad for me, and I was determined to become my own person again, I failed to change. In the end, I ended up cutting ties with them completely, but that still took me another half a year after school was finished. Gurren Lagann goes in almost the complete opposite direction to this. Simon uses every experience he gains and every motivation, and pushes himself higher. Each time he makes progress, he continues moving forwards and is almost never seen looking back. This is what I find so inspiring about Gurren Lagann. No matter how unrealistic the idea of constantly moving forwards is, it always makes me, well, want to kick logic to the curb and do the impossible. After leaving my friend group and going off to college, all I had around me was one or two friends. So I was super nervous about even talking to new people. My confidence in myself was completely shot, or it probably was for a long time already. It wasn't until around half a year into my course that I actually started interacting with people properly again, and the reason for this was because of believe in the me that believes in you. Simon starts his journey forever in the shadow of Carmina. He can't even see the worth that others see in him, and spends the majority of the first arc afraid. It's not until Carmina says to him, "Don't believe in yourself, believe in the me that believes in you," that he actually gains courage. But if you've watched the show, you'll know that it eventually turns into believe in the Simon that believes in you. This was such a wake up for me, as it told me in some roundabout way that I should believe in myself, or that there's a version of me that does believe in myself. This single line allowed me to be more confident in myself, and try new things without worrying about how others see me. Although, truthfully, I felt it the most when writing this script, but I am still very scared of what people think of me. I'm scared of what people might think of my video, but I don't want that feeling to ever stop me from doing what I want to do again. Possibly one of the greatest lessons I've ever learned is the one I took from episode 5, titled I Don't Get It, Not One Bit, in which Team Gurren are traveling across the wasteland and by the power of convenient coincidence and plot, they end up falling into another village. This village is poor and desperate, and the whole time they're down there is shown in black and white. It really drives home just how desperate their situation is. The villagers there believe that they are angels or messengers of God, and end up treating them as such. Because of this, they end up throwing them a banquet, which consists of pretty much nothing.
You know, I think this may be a grand welcome for us. These people have no electricity, no livestock. All they have here is a tiny pond and a broken gunman.
I bet even a measly meal like this is precious to them.
Their village isn't sustainable at all, and as a result, whenever the village's population exceeds 50, they all draw from a cup, and the excess population has to ascend to the gods. Which, although I don't think is ever explicitly stated, I'm pretty sure it means death. When Kamina learns of this, he begins to repeat over and over again,
I just don't get it. I don't get it. Not one damn bit.
The village chief surrenders to his circumstances. The population has grown too large, then it's time to get rid of some of them. It's a cold and seemingly heartless decision, but to many people, this would be the best choice, as it allows for the many to continue living. Even Simone ends up telling Kamina that it's just the way it is here, it's just the law. It's something I believe a lot of people do in their day-to-day. They use the world around them as an excuse to not do something. I know I'm definitely guilty of it, but I also know that sometimes it's unavoidable, and there are some circumstances that are near impossible to do anything about. But Kamina, be it through stupidity or whatever, directly challenges the reasons for these circumstances in the first place.
Seriously, I don't get it. Not one bit. Has anybody ever considered going up there to see what it's really like?
Kamina looks past the why, can't I do this, and goes straight to the how can I do this. It's an incredibly simple outlook, but it's something that's only really stuck with me after watching the show. But these are all things that I've realized after rewatching Gurren Lagann again and again. Of course, I never really understood any of this when I was 14. This video has taken a while to make due to me stressing over whether I can do this anime and its teachings any justice. I wanted it to be perfect so badly that I rewrote the script over 7 times, pretty much from scratch. Hell, I even purchased an Elgato green screen, thinking it would make my video better, only to realize that I need lighting in order to use it properly. I was so obsessed with getting this just right that I had forgotten something important, and it was only recently that one of my friends reminded me that no matter what I do right now, in a year's, 2 years' time, I'm gonna look back at this video and think, wow, I sucked at this. Because the reality is, we just get better as time goes on. After all, in Simone's words, we evolve beyond the person we were a minute before. We advance a little further with each turn. Because that's how a drill works. Gurren Lagann has influenced my life in so many ways, and taught me how to move forwards in pretty much any situation. I'll always be grateful towards everyone who worked on this masterpiece, and when my time finally rolls around, and it's time for me to go, there is genuinely nothing more I want from my final moments than to point to the sky and say, just who in the hell do you think I am? Thanks for watching. This isn't the kind of content that I think I'll be making in the future, but I just wanted my first ever video to be dedicated to possibly the most important thing in my life. I don't even expect this video to do well, but in the event that it does, my Twitch channel is in the description, as well as my Discord where me and my friends get angry and say family-friendly things to each other. I would say like and subscribe, but A, that makes me cringe, And B, what I want more than your subscription is for you to watch Gurren Lagann. If I haven't made it clear already, it's a masterpiece. Thank you for watching.